price of power. In the quiet village of Darwan, nestled by the river Ishara, lived a young woman named Amina. She led a life marked by simplicity, working hard in the fields, gathering water and tending to her few animals. Though content in her small thatched home, Amina had always felt the sting of poverty. She watched as others in the village flourished while she struggled to make ends meet. Her hut, worn and humble, was the least of her troubles, for the villagers whispered about her misfortune. Yet, despite all this, Amina never lost hope. She believed that one day her life would change, but what she didn't know was that change was coming, and it would arrive in the form of a stranger. One day, while Amina was by the riverbank, trying to wash her clothes, she noticed a woman walking toward her. The woman was unlike anyone Amina had ever seen. She was draped in shimmering robes, her dark hair cascading like a river's current, and her eyes sparkled with an otherworldly gleam. The woman introduced herself as Zaria, a traveller who had wandered through many lands, seeking those in need. Zaria's presence exuded a mysterious power that Amina couldn't quite explain. As the two spoke, Zaria listened to Amina's woes, her words resonating with a quiet understanding. "You are capable of more, Amina," Zaria said, her voice as soothing as the river's flow. "You can change your fate, but it comes at a price." Amina, desperate and eager for change, asked what she had to do. Zaria smiled, her eyes glinting with an ancient wisdom. "All you need to do is give up something you hold dear, something you cherish. In exchange, I will grant you power, wealth, and influence." Amina listened with growing curiosity and fear. Zaria's offer seemed too good to be true, but the promise of a better life was too alluring to resist. She asked the stranger what exactly she would need to give up. Zaria's answer was cryptic, but she assured Amina that it would not be too much. "Give me something small, something sentimental. I will use it to forge the pact, and you will see your life transform." Amina thought long and hard. Her mother's heirloom necklace was the only possession that had real sentimental value to her. She had inherited it after her mother passed away, and it was all she had left of her. It wasn't much in value, but it was precious to her heart. "I will give you my necklace," Amina said, her voice trembling. "But will this truly change my life?" Zaria nodded, her smile widening. "It will change everything." The moment the necklace left Amina's hands, a strange energy filled the air. Amina felt a surge of power coursing through her body, as though she had been awakened from a deep slumber. The next morning, she woke to find her small home transformed. What had been a humble hut now stood as a sturdy house, its walls adorned with colourful tapestries and fine furniture. She found sacks of grain and bags of gold at her doorstep. The village's market seemed to bend at her will, and she received respect from people who had once ignored her. Amina could hardly believe the change. For the first time in her life, she felt the rush of power, wealth, and influence. Days turned into weeks, and with every passing day, Amina's wealth continued to grow. She now owned half the land in the village, and the people began to treat her with deference and awe. But with this newfound power came unexpected consequences. Amina's relationships with the villagers began to shift. The friends she once had started to drift away, unsure of who she had become. No longer the humble girl they once knew, Amina was now a symbol of power and fear. Amina noticed that her memories began to fade. The love she had felt for her mother, the warmth of their shared moments, seemed to slip further away with each passing day. The necklace had been a link to her past, but now it felt as though her past no longer mattered. She couldn't even remember the last time she had smiled with genuine joy. One evening, as Amina walked alone by the river, a figure appeared from the shadows. It was Tariq, the village elder, his face etched with wisdom and sorrow. He had seen the changes in Amina and knew that something was amiss. "Amina," Tariq began, his voice deep and calm, "I know what you've done. I have seen this before. The pact you made with Zaria, it comes with a heavy price." Amina's heart skipped a beat. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice betraying a mix of fear and confusion. "The power you've gained has taken something from you, something that can never be returned. You've sold a piece of your soul for riches, and in doing so, you've lost yourself." Amina stood frozen, the weight of his words sinking in. She hadn't realized the depth of her loss. The power, the wealth, it had come at the cost of her humanity. That night, Amina could not sleep. The truth of Tariq's words haunted her. She had become a stranger to herself, consumed by the very things she had once sought so desperately. The village no longer felt like home, and the people who had once been her family now seemed like distant strangers. The more Amina reflected, the more she realized how much she had lost. The love she had for her mother, the joy in simple moments, and the respect she once had for the people around her, all of it had slipped away. Her wealth, her power, none of it filled the emptiness inside her. Amina made a decision. She would go to Zaria and undo the pact, but she had to find a way to reclaim what she had lost without sacrificing any more of her soul. Walked, her heart pounded in her chest. She wasn't sure what would happen, but she knew she could no longer live with the consequences of her choices. When she reached the riverbank, Zaria was there, waiting for her, as though she had been expecting this moment all along. Her smile was knowing, her eyes sharp with a predatory gleam. "I've come to undo the pact," Amina said firmly. "I want my life back. The cost is too high." Zaria's smile faded, and she regarded Amina with an unreadable expression. "The price is already paid, Amina. What you seek cannot be undone so easily." Amina stood tall, her resolve unwavering. "I'm willing to give up everything I've gained to reclaim what I've lost." Zaria stood in silence for a moment, then nodded. "Very well," she said, her voice tinged with a strange sadness. "You've made your choice, but know this. Once the pact is undone, you will not return to the life you once had. The past cannot be reclaimed. Only the future can be rebuilt." With a flick of her hand, Zaria summoned a whirlwind of energy that engulfed Amina. The gold, the land, and the power all faded away, slipping from her grasp. As the light faded, Amina found herself standing alone by the river once more. She had lost everything, her wealth, her power, her influence. But she had also gained something far more valuable, herself. Amina returned to the village, where the people greeted her with a mix of curiosity and warmth. She no longer held the power she once had, but she had reclaimed something far more precious. She no longer needed wealth to feel fulfilled, nor power to be respected. The simple joys of life, friendship, love, and the quiet beauty of the world around her were enough. Amina had learned that the price of power was too steep, and true wealth lay in the intangible things that couldn't be bought. She had lost much, but in the process she had found herself again. The river, once a symbol of her desires, now represented the flow of life itself, ever-changing and unpredictable, but always offering the possibility of renewal. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content. Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. And share this video with someone who needs it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.